Title: My Wife Sneered. I regret every single day I wasted with you. I ripped the ring off my finger, hurled it across the room and said, "Good. Consider today your last day." 7 days later, her friend was at my door. I never expected her words to hit like a hammer. She leaned back on the velvet couch, eyes cold, lips curled in that condescending half-smile and said, "I regret every single day I wasted with you." I felt the weight of every laugh, every shared secret, every fragile promise crush me for a heartbeat. Then I ripped the ring off my finger, hurled it across the room. The clatter against the marble floor sounded like finality. I said, "Good. Consider today your last day." She laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. She had no idea. We had been married 7 years. 7 years of Sunday morning coffee, of watching storms from the balcony, of quiet touches that spoke more than words. I loved her more than I ever thought possible. And she used it. Every smile, every word, every quiet moment was a thread in a web I never saw her spinning. I believed in us. I should have known. Love has a way of blinding even the sharpest eyes. The first crack came quietly. A missed call, a message left open a second too long, a laugh a little too intimate over the phone. I ignored it. I told myself I was being paranoid. But paranoia, I learned, is often hindsight dressed as wisdom. Then, one night, I found it. An email, a photo, a name I didn't recognize. The image burned into me, her hand on someone else's shoulder, the casual ease that was mine to give. That was the day my heart didn't just break, it sharpened. Pain became calculation. Betrayal turned to strategy. I didn't lash out. I didn't beg. I observed. I collected. Receipts, messages, meetings, every slip, every misstep, every hidden smile I recorded. Surveillance cameras weren't paranoia, they were insurance. I made copies of everything, digital, printed, filed. My lawyer friend advised me quietly, and I positioned assets, documents, legal leverage like a general arranging an ambush. 7 days became a chessboard, each piece a move toward inevitable checkmate. Revenge, I realized, doesn't roar. It waits, patient, calculated, silent. Day 1, I called her closest friend, the one she confided in during late-night crises she claimed were ours alone. I framed it casually, like a coffee chat, and subtly hinted that I knew more than I should. The seed was planted. Suspicion, once germinated, grows faster than truth. Day 3, small disruptions. Bank transfers, phone records, her calendar subtly rearranged. She laughed at minor inconveniences. I smiled inside. She had no idea the trap was tightening. Day 5, the climax of preparation. I left a folder conspicuously on the dining table. She walked past it. Curiosity, always her weakness, pried it open. The documents inside, the texts, the emails, the images, laid her secret bare. Her gasp was music. Her friend's name, the hotel receipts, the little lies she thought invisible, now screamed across the glossy paper. She wanted to scream at me, but her throat was dry, her words stuck like flies in amber. And then the 7th day arrived. She returned from work to find the door unlocked. A note lay across the hallway table. "Your secrets have names, addresses, dates. Justice isn't loud, but it doesn't forget." She glanced up. I was sitting in the living room, calm, a glass of wine in hand. Her eyes were wide, not with triumph, but fear. I said nothing. Silence can be more terrifying than any scream. Minutes later, there was a knock. Her friend. The friend who had always laughed at her jokes, who had been the co-conspirator in countless small betrayals. She stepped in, eyes darting, as if the house itself whispered warnings. I handed her the envelope she didn't know existed. Inside, every email, every photo, every trace of her collusion. She read it, mouth falling open, realizing that she had been the pawn and the king simultaneously. I watched my wife's face crumble. First disbelief, then anger, then shame, raw and exposed. She wanted words. I gave her silence. Her friend turned, slowly, a mixture of betrayal and understanding dawning on her. They had underestimated me. They had misjudged patience, misread the calm behind the storm. The payoff wasn't a yell. It wasn't a scene. It was quiet power, the kind that settles in the chest and doesn't leave. They were exposed. Their networks, their lies, their manipulations all crumbled in the space of a single week. I walked past them to the balcony, the city lights reflecting in my eyes. The air tasted of cold satisfaction. I didn't hate her. Hate is messy. I didn't gloat. Gloating is loud. But I had regained the only thing they could never steal: control. I turned back, one last glance. Her eyes were wet now, and for a fleeting second she saw me. Not the man she had tried to use, not the husband she had betrayed, but the force she had awakened. I said softly, "Consider today your last day," and meant it in every sense. They left soon after. I didn't follow, I didn't call. The house was empty, yet I felt lighter than I had in years. Betrayal had been a dagger, but revenge had been a scalpel. Precise, clean, perfect. In the quiet aftermath, I realized something. Power is not loud. It's invisible. And the sweetest revenge is knowing you walked through fire and came out untouched, leaving only ashes for those who tried to burn you. I poured another glass of wine. The ring was still there, on the marble floor, a relic. I didn't pick it up. Some things are better left behind. Power is not loud. It's invisible. And the sweetest revenge is knowing you walked through fire and came out untouched, leaving only ashes for those who tried to burn you. I poured another glass of wine. The ring was still there, on the marble floor, a relic. I didn't pick it up. Some things are better left behind.